Hello and welcome to another one of these news videos where I just talk and ramble. Now ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you know how we're going to start this video off? With a very hot take. I absolutely hate scammers.
Gasp!
Those gasping mice are right! You are way out of line!
Well, if that's a hot take, well, get out of the kitchen and cry me a river, I guess. And what exactly am I talking about? Well, very recently there was a scam that happened involving a very rare Bakugan, and it got so big to the point where even a local TV news network picked up the story. Now, first off, a little bit of context here. Scams involving collectibles like trading cards, toys, all that stuff happens all the time. This is nothing new. It always sucks whenever it happens, and rightfully deserves to be called out for when it does happen. Whenever you're buying or trading for rare collectibles or items, especially on the internet, you want to be as safe and protected as possible. The main place where people usually put up stuff for sale or post their want ads for Bakugan is the Cubicle Discord server, and whenever a scam or anything happens, they rightfully ban the scammer and expose them. Luckily, the rule is regarding buying is that you have to buy through PayPal's goods and services, which makes the seller pay a fee, and if you did get scammed, you can get your money back. Now, once every month or two, this happens, on average. Look, the internet has opened up many possibilities, and people are able to trade and collect and buy from the comfort of their own home, but there's always going to be bad apples in the community, no matter where you are, that will take advantage of it just to make a quick and easy buck. Now, this story in particular didn't happen in the Cubicle, thank God. This happened in Russia of all places, but Russia is apparently experiencing a late nostalgic boom where Bakugan, in particular the Legacy or Gen 1 series, is seeing a bit of a resurgence. Now, this situation involved the sale of a single-headed Hydranoid figure, and this thing is actually a very rare figure to find these days. It's considered one of the holy grails of Bakugan collecting. This was the only single-headed Hydranoid figure to be released, and it's only found in a limited run masquerade set that comes with a translucent dual-head Hydranoid and Alpha Hydranoid. So this is extremely rare, and to be able to find even one of these, let alone a set that is still in the packaging, is pretty impossible these days. Especially a set that doesn't cost like between $500 to $1,000. Like, Jesus Christ. I actually had this set when I was a kid that my dad bought for me on a trip to Walmart one time. So you're telling me that mom costed me $1,000 when she threw out my collection? Come on! Now, apparently what happened was someone paid money to buy a single-headed Hydranoid, and they were sent a completely different Bakugan of no value, which, of course, is a scam. And apparently it's gotten big to the point a news station in Russia picked up the story.
Роботы-трансформеры стал жертвой мошенника. Такие игрушки были популярны в 2007 году.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I don't speak or understand Russian. Luckily, a Discord user who owns and runs the Ivan Noble group, HitLeboBoy2 with a username I can't even read, managed to get me a translation. Though this is a rough translation, it probably is not perfect, but it is close enough. The deceived collector said that he found the unique figure on the internet. The group was verified, but the owner of the toy was unknown to anyone. Despite this, the collector still decided to take the risk. Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't know someone or if the person has no references or credentials, then you are essentially going into something blind, especially on a high-value item like this. And in my opinion, it's just not worth it. However, instead of the rare character, the seller sent a worthless figurine. The collector paid 11,000 rubles, I don't know, for the pacifier. Okay, that's where the translation probably screws up. Pretty sure it's meant to say toy or something, unless the Russian media are really trying to call Bakugan a baby's toy.
Really? You mean those baby toys? No!
Now, to put this in perspective, 11,000 rubles is about 170 Canadian dollars or 125 US dollars, or somewhere around there, give or take. Like I said before, the translucent single-headed Hydranoid is being price gouged for over 500 Canadian dollars at minimum. If we convert Canadian to rubles, that is 32,000 rubles. So the fact that one is being sold for 11,000, which is $170, that is actually a really huge steal for a very desirable figure like this. But you know what they say, when something sounds good to be true, it's usually too good to be true. The popularity of Bakugan peaked in 2007 after the cartoon was released on television. Monster figures became children's favorite toy. Oh, okay, yeah, this is just giving context to Bakugan. There are not so many collectors of these toys in Russia, and almost all of them know each other. For example, the metropolitan Bakugan community includes 10 players. Actually, now that I think about it, wasn't Alice Russian? Collectors communicate mainly through social networks. The so-called newbies immediately raise many questions. Those who try to deceive gambling addicts have a number of cunning methods. I'm not sure if you would quantify Bakugan players rolling marbles onto a card as gambling addicts. A collector with a trained eye will quickly notice that something is wrong. Someone is cheating on the condition. They can sell a broken item at the price of good condition. They can repaint it from one color to another in order to increase the price, says collector Yegor Rykov. Yeah, in the time that I've been shopping for Bakugan, I can't really say I've seen much of the repainting side, and even when they do, they are not only extremely noticeable, but usually a repaint would be disclosed by the person selling it. That's just me though. Like, I've seen clear knockoff Bakugan being sold as real products, and also seen people get outright scammed by paying for a Bakugan after being sent a picture found on Google Images. Usually the best tactic to try and protect yourself is timestamping. So for example, I'm buying a Diamond Syndius Ultra from a user called DanSexyMom420. Before we agree on the deal, I ask him to send me a picture of the toy with their username and the current date and time, therefore we can verify the authenticity of the item and the legitimacy of the person selling it. Usually that's the best way to protect yourself, and if you still get burned by this, you could still dispute it through PayPal. I'm not sure what payment method they used over there, but it might have a dispute function depending on the money service they used. Those willing to pay for a unique figure will find a new addition to the collection, but those who simply make money from this by deceiving are subject to criminal liability. The police are now looking into the fraud involving the substitution of Bakugan in Ivanovo. A criminal case has been opened and is being investigated for fraud. Oh damn. Employees of operational units are searching for suspects, says Victoria Antonova, senior assistant at the Information and Public Relations Department of the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs for Ivanovo. Now, I'm not a lawyer or anything, and I definitely don't know anything about how the law works in Russia, but yeah, I would consider this an act of complete fraud. Now, what's even sadder is that the site that the sale was hosted in, vk.com, which I think is like the Russia equivalent of Facebook Marketplace, the person has apparently, after successfully taking the victim's money, has deleted their account and fled the internet. But the listing is still up there, but everyone is commenting scam on it. These are exactly the two types of people I hate the most online: copyright abusers and scammers, especially scamming people who just want to enjoy a relatively harmless hobby. I know to some people like 160 or 120 bucks is not a lot of money, but for hobbyists who do this for fun, most of the time it's students in high school or university with just part-time employment, this sort of thing is a big deal, not to mention the legality and the principles of it. You can't let scammers get away with what they do no matter what, and that's why police is involved. I'm just surprised that this kind of situation, how unfortunately not uncommon it is for this to happen, that this got reported on TV news networks. But at the end of the day, this was a scam, and I hope the scammer one day wakes up and realizes how not worth it this was. And the amount of time and effort it took for them to commit this scam is time and energy they could have used to working an actual job and probably make like 5 times more. Now, I admit with the news coverage they did with Bakugan, I was a little bit worried about the potential political ramifications this kind of coverage could bring, but then again, Putin's stupid, so who really cares? But you know, while it's good that the news media, even as obscure as this Russian one, I also gotta wonder, with all the good the Bakugan brand has, like being a great collectible toy, the game being awesome, the events that it held, that this is the thing that the news media harps on. But you know what, whatever, there was a net positive out of all this. And for real though, I do hope the best for this victim of this scam. I hope they do end up getting their money back, and the person that committed this crime gets found and arrested. And on the off chance the scammer is watching this, I can really only sum up my absolute disdain for you with this clip from AEW.
Go fuck yourself.
But if you want to catch up upon the latest Bakugan news, check out the previous BakuTalk news video. As well, we are doing Battle Planet reviews again, so go check out the latest one out now. Support BakuTalk by pressing the thumbs up and give us a subscribe for more awesome Bakugan content. I've been Haru Ren, thank God for Rapid Fire, shame on that Baku scammer, and Ventry is based. Bye!